Hello. So today we're going to be making a salad and some pesto from our indoor hydroponic garden. We have this basil we grew from seed from this over 2 to 3 year hydroponic basil that we had. I kept its skeleton because it has sentimental value, and it was one of the first plants I grew for several years. And it smells really good, and I just think it looks really cool. And yeah, not many people have seen like a 3-year-old basil plant grown hydroponically, so I like to just keep its skeleton. But we're going to go through and defoliate the basil, talk a little bit about it, and make some pesto, and then a salad out of the surrounding plants that we have with arugula. You can eat the red acre cabbage leaves, the Brussels sprout leaves. Gourmet lettuce is like 3 feet tall at this point, so we have plenty of lettuce. And yeah, the tomatoes are ripening off soon, just none are ready yet. Each branch is looking like it has 18 tomatoes on it. I have to defoliate them and work on them a little bit, but we're going to go through and show you how we make pesto from our basil plant, and then the pesto and the salad itself. So we're going to start with harvesting the pesto. If we have enough, we might double the recipe. We need 2 cups, so if we're lucky to get 4, we'll double the recipe. So when we look at the plant itself, it wants to flower when it gets pretty big, and you'll see at the top the plant wants to flower and have these white flowers. When these flowers die back, you can pick them off, and I'll show clips in a separate video of them mature, and you can rub them around in your fingers a little bit and get the black basil seeds out and have hundreds of basil seeds. So I have like thousands of basil seeds, so I don't collect them anymore. So I just go through and always pick off the basil seeds. If I take a little leaves with it, the smaller leaves taste better than the bigger ones. I just throw that in the pesto. And it will regrow. This plant's very vigorous. I'll talk a little bit about nutrients later. So I want to go through and defoliate a lot of the branches down below because it's competing pretty hard with Brussels sprouts right now. And any leaves that aren't getting good light are going to die off and be wasted. So I want to go through and get any leaves that don't get good light down there, and we'll time lapse through that. And then we'll go through and look at the top of the plant more, where we can see that basil always does this same sort of growing structure, where it has like these sort of sun leaves, and then it will root out from here, or jut out from here, and then even these shoots will do the same sort of thing. So you can cut this plant pretty much anywhere, and it'll grow back very vigorously from a lot of different shoots and just go in a lot of different directions. There are some pretty good cutting tutorials for when your plant is really, really small. But I don't really harvest my basil until it gets this big because I want to make a lot of pesto. Unless I want a couple leaves here or there in a smoothie or a salad or something. But I generally wait until it's this large and flowering to go and start making some pesto from it. And I have another basil downstairs that was about a year old and just went on its way out. And I don't have too many clips of that to show. I like to talk about how we grow it. So we probably only watered this once or twice and brought it up to that 2.1 EC point, and we'll talk a little bit about nutrients later. And you can see where its water level's at now. Can't really do a root pull of it because it's so confined in this area. Right now I'm kind of just reaching in there and pulling off anything. Just anything I can grab I'm pulling off because none of it get good light, and it's not gonna. I can't really see what's going on, and I'm not gonna really chop it too much on the top to the point where light's ever really gonna get down there the greatest. Some of the tips are like a little dead. We'll go through and rip those off. I don't want that. That's what's gonna end up happening if we don't get to these leaves. Basil smells incredibly good, so the second you start picking this, the whole house smells like it. And it's super, super easy to clone. You can just pinch off a little bit like that, throw it in some water, and if it starts to droop, just take some leaves like we always do, and in a couple weeks you'll have a whole nother basil plant. And what's great is, like I said, since you have thousands of basil seeds, you can just scatter plant them everywhere. And I had so many basil plants come up in the yard last year, but then the winter took them out. Really easy plant to grow and clone. Even with low nutrients, it'll turn out this thick and dense. And when I was first starting out gardening, I didn't really know much about EC and testing EC, which measures the amount of nutrients in the water. I used to just always add nutrient water, like not knowing what I was doing. And I tested my basil and it was at 63 EC. So I didn't end up adding nutrients to it for like a year. and it ended up eating its way all the way back down to 2.5, and then from there I started to give it nutrient water again, and I thought that was pretty incredible. So just picking off flowers. Smaller leaves usually taste better. Any leaves that are too dead I don't want to eat because they've lost flavor. And I don't want to take more than 50% of the plant off. I'm not really too shy to take much of this plant off. It grows back fast, and I know a lot of this isn't getting good light. So I use a veg bloom bundle for all my plants, which is around $150, $180 for all the nutrients. So something like basil is super easy to grow. I would just recommend like a cheaper plant nutrients. I have an Arrow Garden all-in-one. That's a $25 bottle that I would recommend for something like this. I know there's a lot of great nutrient companies out there. So it's crucial we're getting to it at this point because like we're gonna start to lose some foliage at this point, so we don't want that to happen. So we've definitely gotten over a cup here. Like we don't want leaves like that. So I got this bigger bowl. We'll collect them in and check them all out later. There's not much strategy in this really. Just grabbing whatever is I can grab and just I know isn't gonna get good light. There'll be more strategy when we get to the top. I mean, it's really simple. You just reach in there and grab a handful. This plant's probably 4 months, 3 months. These are some massive basil leaves. I don't want to drop them on the floor too much. My floor's clean, I promise. It's a big leaf. Some of these get pretty big. So what's great is at this point, that's why I wait until this point to make pesto, because you can just keep coming back and making more in a couple weeks because it will just replace all this vegetation that we're kind of taking. And then if you want to chop it lower, it'll just keep growing from those node points. So it's definitely a plant you can harvest a lot of food off of and keep year round in a windowsill or under an LED. It's one of my favorite plants. All right, so what was that, 2 cups already? So we are definitely going to double this recipe. Look at this like lanky branch coming off the bottom of that right there. Right there. Like we're probably going to take this whole thing. We can't really shove it in there and get it up in there. Tomatoes don't like me right now. Sorry, tomato. It'll kind of grow back pretty well from any node point, and I like to tie it back because it wants to keep coming towards the light. So I have this rope here. I'm going to grab some more rope and try and bring it up and tie it back like this more. So I'm just going to try and wrap this around the entirety of the plant, kind of as low as I can get it, like a seat belt. And I'm not being too particular with it because again, this plant's very tough, and if I bend it into a certain direction, it's all right. It's a very bendy plant, and it will just grow right back towards the light. So I'm going to cut that there and tie it up. You can see this plant's still very overgrown, and there's a lot of leaves that aren't still getting the greatest light. So we'll just use that as an opportunity to make more pesto again in a couple weeks. So that's all the basil we're going to take right now. We got our 4 cups. We got that all from just reaching our hand in and defoliating any leaves that aren't going to get good light, and just ripping them out without much strategy other than that. But I want to show how you can just cut this plant. You don't need to be shy to cut it. It'll just start growing in any direction you kind of want to, and you can string it up however you'd like. So like I was saying, at these points, at the shoots, we have these like 2 sun leaves every time, and then it wants to kind of clone itself and create an entire another basil plant. And then same thing again here. This one's going to go up and do the same sort of thing. So if you want to directionalize it, you can take off the middle, which is going to go up and do the same sort of thing anyway. Or you can say, well, I want to keep this one and just get rid of this one. And then on here, you can make it go left or right again. So you have plenty of different options. I don't want you to be afraid to cut this plant at any different point. Sometimes we get long stems like that, reaching for light, and start to cover over some other plants. And then you can just defoliate the leaves real quick, and you're ready to go. So we put the 4 cups of basil in the fridge right now, submerged in some water just to keep it fresh, while we go through and harvest the salad, since we're just filming this for you guys and it takes a little longer. Since obviously the video could just be us making the food, but I want to show how to take care of the plants and then make the food so that it makes more sense and we're not just like making food out of ingredients that we already harvested and stuff. So with the red acre cabbage, this plant naturally starts to cover over its leaves. So we get really, really big leaves here that stop getting good light. You can see this massive leaf is just not getting any light other than this little tip right here. It's getting outcompeted by the Brussels sprouts. So we're going to go in there and just, with my thumb and my fingers underneath, snap it off, just like that. And that is a really nice red acre cabbage leaf for our salad. So we have a lot of foliage here. I always end up making way too much salad. So just one of each of these plants is enough for me and my wife, Fetty. And, you know, sometimes we have too much foliage. So you don't need more than one of kind of any type of plant. With the Brussels sprouts, we don't have any Brussels on it yet, but the entire plant is edible. So any leaves that don't get good light down here that are going to die off anyway, you can see them already starting to turn yellow if they're not getting good light like that. We're just going to pick some off that are fighting with basil. Here, I'll grab you guys. You can see down by its stem. This one right here, we're going to snap it off. You can see how there's just a lot of foliage in there competing and not even getting any good light underneath all this. That is where all the food is at. See, we're going to start to lose leaves if we don't get to it soon enough. Something like this. Hopefully still good. Something like this. Oh, where is it coming from? Whoa, it's coming from the other Brussels sprout. Yeah, it's already starting to lose some color there. So I'm going to go through and keep doing that, and I hope that demonstrates pretty well how we kind of need to eat these and get to them. And they have a lot of flavor, and they're really good. So I still kind of want to eat, I don't know about that one. Some of these ones that have yellowing on them, I'm just going to rip off the parts that are yellowing a little bit and keep the rest. So I'm going to go through and pick off a couple more Brussels sprouts leaves, and then we're going to move to arugula and the gourmets. All right, so we're in the short cold day tent. This is at 8 hours, around 70 degrees. So our short day plants like white strawberry, which these smell like Fun Dip and cotton candy and kind of taste like them too, and are one of my favorite. Will flower, because they're a shorter day plant. But the long day plants like the arugulas and the lettuces shouldn't flower. But they're overgrown, so we're actually getting some bolting occurring, which is kind of interesting for a short day plant, or a long day plant to be flowering under a short day. But it's occurring with the arugula here too. I just decided to keep this one shoot of it, but we've been picking off all the arugula flowers as well. So just like the basil, you can see these buds on the arugula flower. Just pick them off since we don't want it flowering. And arugula is a 40 to 60 day plant. But you can keep it flowering, or not flowering, you can keep it alive for much longer. This one's like, again, 3 months old probably at this point, and you just keep chopping it down and letting it regrow. So an example of that is kind of like tomato and other plants. It just shoots out from these stems in the middle of their sun leaves. So if we want to just keep regrowing more arugula, we can come in here and just snip at one of these points and let the other shoot here become the dominant main one and grow a little bigger. I like to take the leaves off that are 4 to 6 inches long, since those are the tastiest ones, and the ones that aren't getting good light down in closer to the bucket, because they will die off anyway. So something like this is perfect and needs to go anyway. So I highly recommend these plants because you're always harvesting them. There's always leaves that need to go, and then they can just keep regrowing, since indoors they're just going to keep regrowing in this climate and temperature range and under that light schedule. And if we cut it the right way and take care of it the right way, You don't need to just chop it at the base and harvest the whole thing. We can just keep grazing it and grazing it. So we've harvested a lot off of this arugula, and you can see a lot of our old previous cuts, and maybe you've seen some of our old previous harvest videos. And if you're wondering how we got a lot of these plants to this point, we created entire setup videos explaining how we water the plants and take care of them, and our 8x8 setup guide that we did. So I don't want to make the video too long and get into detail on how they grow too much. So same thing, I'm just going to go through and defoliate any leaves that aren't getting great light down in the middle of the plant. And I'm not going to be too shy with it. I'm just going to kind of grab and pull, because plants are tough, and as long as we don't take more than 30%, we're all right. 50% of the plant. Same thing, I don't want you to be shy to cut a plant like this. Something like this is kind of getting in my way, and I don't really like it too much, so I'm just going to cut it right down there, and then just strip it of all these leaves. See if we can get a good pull. Yeah, that worked pretty well. I don't know if I'd necessarily recommend letting it get this tall, but you can reach down at any point and just grab some branches off of it that you want to eat. So these aren't getting great light down here. Just going to pick them off. You see some of them have some damage on them because they aren't getting good sunlight. Now this plant's going to be a little tougher to keep alive longer than its normal lifespan outside. We're going to have to chop it somewhere right around there to try to get 2 more shoots to grow from it. You see how it's split into 2 shoots. So I've had a gourmet lettuce live longer than a year and get about this tall, and I lost it at around this height last time as well too. This one's grown incredibly fast. So to try and make this one live longer, we're going to take off a lot of these flowers at the top. We're going to chop it and make it one main stem and disadvantage one of the main stems, and hopefully we can get more shoots to come out of it. I don't want to take a lot of these lower leaves here just because I want to keep them for light purposes when I go and chop at the center here. So I haven't done this before much with a gourmet lettuce. We also have another gourmet here that's incredibly tall. But we're going to just chop it right around here on this shoot. All right. So we'll see how that regrows there. We may come back again in a couple weeks and take this other shoot here at the top, and then we're going to try and hopefully get some more shoots to come out at the bottom, since I've seen the gourmet lettuce shoot out runners in the past and grow in all sorts of weird different ways. So this looks really good. I'm pleased with this. So we're going to go downstairs now and make the pesto and the salad. Same thing with these, ripping off any flowers. We'll be back to harvest again in a couple weeks or days. So we're actually going to harvest some strawberries today too, along with the salad and the pesto, just because we have some to harvest every couple days. But I have complete update videos on start to finish of everything going on with these strawberries, and a harvest video coming out soon of about how much we get in a month. These are at their around 20-week point, and we go through and help pollinate them a little bit to get some bigger, better berries. And we're going to go through and harvest them, show you about how many we get every couple days, and I'll include some clips and photos of some other days. But it'll be more for other videos. So there's also some peppers ready in the downstairs garden. We just recently harvested that triple pepper over in the corner there, but I've been leaving these for the salad. You can see they're starting to get a little wrinkly at the bottom. This pepper's going on its probably like 10th harvest. We just keep it flowering year round. Just 2 will be fine for today. We keep them flowering indoors year round. So this one is a couple years old and is probably on its 10th or 11th run of peppers. And we just go through and defoliate any leaves that are dying off, yellowing, or don't get good light, and just let it keep regrowing. I haven't made too many videos on them, but I made some harvest videos on the triple pepper in the corner. They're pretty simple to take care of, and low maintenance, and don't drink too much. I'll make more videos on them, and some videos I haven't made independent videos on more soon, where I've been making complete videos from start to finish on the tomatoes and the strawberries, and not so much on some of the other plants. So this is the pesto recipe we're going to use. It is doubled. I'll put it in the description down below. You blend it all together. So I'm going to measure these all out and blend them all up and show you the finished pesto. Betty's here to help me.
Hi guys, we're making the salad today. So the leaves you saw Jake harvest earlier, I went in and rinsed them out and got rid of any yellow spotting or anything we didn't feel comfortable eating. And I just kind of grabbed them and just tear them up in biteable chunks. What I like to put in the salad is, of course, our peppers and some onion that I chop up and dice, sunflower seeds, cranberries, and for dressing, we either like Italian or ranch, but we're gonna go with ranch today. Yay!
Betty just murdered the salad. Wait for ASMR. Gotta get the right sprinkle. Another good sprinkle. Drop one. And the dressing.
Then we're gonna chop the onion up.
Did you hear it pop? That's crazy. Oh yeah, you just murder everything with your tiny little hand.
That is so funny. I just want to make sure they know that there's seeds there and stuff.
Ta-da.
Just a couple so you can take your vertical clip.
And that is the completed salad. I didn't do anything. Oh my god, yeah, here. Here, I'll make it so you can actually eat part of it.
Oh wow, that's really good.
Is it?
It's a little bitter.
Oh, the bitter is from the stem.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
At the end it was a little bitter. I was like, wow, that tastes good.
I'll just resort to feeding you the strawberries instead. This is really nice strawberry. Here you go.
Wow.
Yeah, that one was really sweet.
Yeah, that's definitely not bitter.
Ah, that's not bitter. I have this other good strawberry. I will go first this time. The red color all the way through. Getting the lemon juice in there.
Yep, trying to get rid of the
From
lemon
a real lemon.
seeds.
We have a lemon tree, but we didn't grow these lemons yet. Trying to get our lemon tree to flower downstairs. Here.
Oh. That's very good.
I'll wash my hands now.
Okay, I've added all the lemon juice. We need
Okay.
6 tablespoons of pine nuts.
1, 6.
Amazing. And then I need that one. 6 to 8 tablespoons of nutritional yeast. Should I do 8 or 7 or yeah?
Well, this is what's awesome about garlic is you can already see the tips poking through. You can just plant a clove just like that. Oh, good thing there's more cloves. You can see when they poke through like that. I try not to get it on the top little piece right there because then the spinner piece gets all dirty.
Also, Jake and I don't eat dairy, but this can be replaced with Parmesan cheese. Let's see, put all the cloves in here, honey.
All of them?
All of them, yeah?
Even the one I dropped.
Yeah, that bowl is clean. 6 cloves of garlic.
6 cloves of garlic.
Yes. And then a half a teaspoon of salt. So this full. Here, you're better at measuring stuff.
My turn. Whoa.
Get the olive oil.
Does this salt seem like it's like wet?
I don't know, but that's good because you're
That's
getting...
a lot of salt.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's too much.
We had a little bit more basil too, but
Just gonna level it off with this. Into, I don't know, I kind of like to suck on the lemons.
yeah,
Sounds
that's true.
weird.
Me too. Nice.
Half one? That's it?
Yep. 4 to 6 tablespoons of oil. How many do you think we should do? 4, 5, or 6?
I like 4. I like the less oil, the better. I don't really like consuming oil. We'll just add more water. if
Yes,
anything.
because the recipe does come with water, so you can use a little bit less oil and a little bit more water.
I bet there's probably some oil substitutes that there are out there that would work great. I think that was 3.
Yep, and this is going to be your 4th one. Amazing. And then 6 to 12 tablespoons of water. So you add it as you kind of go. No, not like that, not like that. It's going to pour all over. You're just going to use this. 1. 3. 4. 5.
Try to participate.
6. Okay, so let's start with 6 first.
Yeah, and then blend it up
And
and
then-
see if we need more.
Yeah.
Got 2 speeds. We only use the second one. I think that is...
Wow, that looks pretty liquidy. Let's see it.
It does look pretty liquidy. I don't think you're going to need more water.
Definitely not.
Sometimes you have to add more. Just scrape the leaves off the side and the bottom. Here, we'll pick this up so you can move it around a bit.
Mhm.
Oh, I can smell it. Oh, I love
Mhm.
that pesto smell. Oh, that's
Yes.
really liquidy.
Yeah, we might need to go get some more leaves.
Yeah, that's no problem. We actually can go get some more
Mhm.
leaves. Let's see. Because that is really liquidy.
I wonder if you did 3 cups or 4 cups.
No, we did 4 cups of leaves.
We did 4 cups. Wow.
I don't know.
It's very
just-
liquidy.
Could have pressed them down a little more then, I guess.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's usually not this liquidy. We
Yeah,
usually have to add water.
Yes. It's not supposed to be liquidy. It's supposed to be more denser.
Saucy.
Yeah. Saucy. Here, let's
Here,
see
let's
it.
see. Sure tastes really good, though. Put this like that.
Yeah. So I'll show you guys. That's like too liquidy. Because these go good with crackers or bread. So you don't want it to soak anything like that.
Oopsies. So you can see, we're going to add some more leaves because it's a little too liquidy. We like it a little thicker. But it smells really good. So we're going back for a 5th cup of basil. There's still plenty to defoliate down here. So I still don't even think I'm going to get to the top yet. Probably good. What do you think? Okay, so we wanted to add another couple leaves because we might not have packed the first 4 densely enough, and we like it thicker. If we have to add more leaves after this, we will. Just like to keep checking as we go. Oh, that's still very liquidy. More leaves. So we're back getting another couple leaves. I'm just still going through and getting some that are defoliating down here. Aren't getting good light. So it's good that we waited until the plant was this size because we're able to take a lot off of it. I think this is enough to make it nice and thick. So it'll be around 6 cups. They were pretty loosely packed. I think that's kind of fine.
Yeah, I think we're getting to that consistency that we like.
Mm-hmm. Alright, we're going to taste test the pesto. Look, your accent messes me up. We're going to taste test the pesto. Yeah, it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long time since we had some. Yeah, it's really good. I think that's fine like that.
Same.
It dries out in the fridge over a couple days, week or two. So Okay, so I don't really like eating on camera too much, but we traditionally like to try things on camera a little bit just to get our reaction and how they taste. I got some on my face. It tastes like an Italian restaurant smells. If that makes any sense.
I agree with that.
It's got like the aroma in the air, like
Yeah. Very packed with flavors.
that's really good.
Yes.
Yeah, I really like this combination of the different leaves. I can't wait for the red acre cabbage and the Brussels sprouts to finish off
Yeah.
producing the head of cabbage. And
But I definitely
Brussels.
recommend them even for like just the leaves.
Mhm.
It makes a lot of food and it's really tasty.
Mhm. So we just got done making the salad and the pesto. We're gonna store the pesto in the fridge. If you want, we have all the gear we affiliate for on Amazon, linked down below. If you hover over any of the products in the bottom right hand corner, it just gives you a small description of what we use them for. We have a lot of videos on how to grow hydroponic bucket plants at home. And this video is more just of us harvesting and creating the food and tasting it for you guys, and to show you kind of what goes into the garden in general in this aspect. So if you want, be on the lookout for our drop of our merch soon. So we don't have that much in stock. And for now, we have our hydroponic plants playlist. If this is on YouTube, we have it on Facebook, but it's not in this location. We have what YouTube thinks is best for you, or you could subscribe for more. Thank you for watching.
Have a great day.